Welcome back to Steve Robb Reviews. Today we're going to explore why people break so many drill bits. I break drill bits too, and we're going to explore the reasons why so many people break metal cutting drill bits. Now, I've learned all these things over the years from many different teachers, and you know what? We all learn from each other, and I'm here today to share what I know about drill bits and how to prevent you becoming a person that breaks a drill bit, especially in a spot that's very critical and you didn't know why that drill bit just broke. So let's go over and take a look at the workbench here, and I'm going to explore some reasons why drill bits break. Well, here's the setup right here, and you know what? I broke this drill bit. It was my fault that I broke it, but I knew exactly why it broke, and it was cutting through a hollow pipe like this. We're going to go over different styles of drill bits and why they break. And just to say, my favorite drill bits of all time are Cobalt drill bits. Now, you can get whatever drill bits that you like, but generally there's various reasons why a drill bit would break, and a lot of people break a lot of drill bits and don't actually know why they break so many. So today, hopefully, we can explore this and resolve a lot of the mystery behind why so many drill bits are broken. In my experience, the top 3 reasons why a drill bit breaks is because either the tip is not sharp, you're using the wrong RPM speed of the bit itself, or you're not using enough lubricant. Or I find, and I broke this drill bit itself, was when you try to go through a hollow tube, it's very difficult sometimes to be absolutely perpendicular to your hole. So if you go a little ways off like this and you start drilling, well, you're going to start to get it to bind here and here. And that's what happened in my particular case. And that's just part of actually doing stuff. You will break drill bits. The best thing to do is to actually be as accurate as you can and try to make it exactly straight all the time. But you know what? In reality, we just can't do it. So if we take a look at these drill bits here, you can see the difference in lengths, and you can see the difference in diameter. And the one thing you notice is a drill bit of this length here. Why isn't this drill bit that long? Well, there's a lot of engineering that goes into drill bits, and they know that this drill bit at this particular length can only take so much torque. So as you increase the diameter of your drill bit, you can apply more torque. So what's another reason why a lot of drill bits are broken? Well, in my experience, a lot of people like to use pilot holes. So they will drill a pilot hole first, and then, well, they take a drill bit and they try to finish it off. But if you take a look right here, and you could see, well, can you see the drill bit in there? That's hard to tell. But if you take a look at the reasoning behind this, is this particular tip is not engineered to actually drill through this plate only on the tip, because you will start to get chattering on your cutting edges here. It's meant to cut smoothly from here to here as it goes through the material. Now, many times a lot of people are going to say, okay, it's easier to do. Well, yes, it is, but you do risk the possibility of breaking your bit because the bit was never designed to have a pilot hole. So generally, I don't use a pilot hole unless I have to. But you got to be very careful on bits under 1 inch. Now you might think that that's quite a bit. You know, a lot of people do use pilot holes, but it depends on how thick a material you're going through, what the material, thickness is, and the material itself, and how hard it is, and how good of a bit you have. If you got like a $4 bit, or you're trying to drill through a $200 piece, well, you're better off to get yourself a more expensive bit rather than get something stuck, you know, this far in. Now what do you do? So in reality, yeah, I kind of stay away from, you know, going the route of all these pilot holes and this kind of stuff. If you can't drill through it, well, you know what? Your bit needs to be sharpened. So what's another reason why a lot of times people are breaking their bits? Well, it's the lubricant. A lot of times people don't use the right lubricant. They're just using motor oil. They're using all kinds of different things. But generally, I don't use any lubricant under, you know, 1/8 thickness. And really, there is no reason to do it because, you know, you're not drilling through that long of a section, right? Another thing is, a lot of people will take a drill bit, say like this one here, and they will put that in their drill. Regular cordless drill or whatever. Now this particular drill, you could see the difference between the two here. And we're just going to take a look, see if I can show this the best I can here. The difference between the end of the flutes and the end of the shaft. So a lot of people, what they will do is they will put this in their drill and put it onto the flutes up here. And what you end up doing is you end up snapping your bit here. If it ever does bind or grip, it'll snap right in this section right here. So you want to only put your drill bit inside the retaining collar on the solid shaft, not right at the end here. That's another reason why. So let's go on to another reason why a lot of people break their drill bits. Well, as you can see here, you're looking at the drill bit chart, and it shows the different materials and the different speeds. And when you take a look at the different materials, not all materials require a lubricant, and some actually specify not to have a lubricant. And if you take a look at the drill speed chart there, you could see that, yeah, you're getting up into high RPMs. The smaller the drill bit, generally, the faster the RPM. So when you get up into a 1-inch drill bit, yeah, you're not spinning that thing, you know, like 7,000 RPM because it's not designed for it. And that's the main reason why I think a lot of people are busting drill bits, is because they're not actually using the right RPM. And it's so easy just to go online and only take like 2 minutes to Google the RPM speed, or print yourself out a chart like this so you can just look it up and see what is the range. Now, of course, these are ideal ranges, and you know, most people don't have them kind of speeds on different, you know, drill presses or your hand drill. But in reality, yeah, you really need to be close to the ideal RPM range. Know if it should have a lubricant, use a half decent lubricant, and majority of the time you will not break your drill bit if you actually drill straight. And that's another key thing, is straight. So as you can see by the chart, yeah, there's a big difference in, you know, the diameter of the drill bit and the cutting speed. And you know, in reality, most of you will never have access to the cutting speed, you know, that they're requiring. But take for instance this little pipe here, this hollow tube. If you wanted to drill a hole between here and the other side and you have access to it, well, you just use your square, you just transfer it over to the other side and you'll have no problem. My situation was the part was welded on a piece of machinery and I had to, the access was horrible and I was off a little bit and she snapped right there. So there's another reason why a lot of times these drill bits will snap on you, especially like I just use any material that says cutting fluid and it works fine. I just put it in this little container and squirt it in the hole. But there's one thing that causes a lot of drill bits to break even when you use cutting fluid, is when you have your flutes all filled up with cutting material. And a lot of people don't remove it, and I always just take an acid brush and just take it off and then start drilling some more. Because if you don't, your cutting fluid inside and all your material here, well, what happens is it binds up and it just causes a stress point right here. Now if you take a look at these flutes, you see like this is pretty thick here. But if you take a look at the distance, you know, and remove the material from one side to the other, you're down to 1/4 of the diameter of your drill bit. So yeah, it will break, you know, in the flute area quite often if you allow too much cutting material or fluid itself build up and it causes too much pressure right in here. So it's best just to use an acid brush and just, you know, wipe it all off and then start over again. Now they do make cutting paste, and I do use the cutting paste as well, and it almost looks like soldering flux kind of thing, a little bit more dense than soldering flux for plumbing. And I find that is great in situations where you're drilling where you're vertical. And this stuff here, regular liquid, you're drilling up. How are you going to get that liquid in there except coating your bit and then trying a bit at a time? So they do make some ideal pastes that go on that are a lot more effective than cutting fluid itself. Well, I hope you found that informative. I am not no way at all an expert on everything that has to do with drill bits, cutting fluid, you know, all the different processes involved in using metal cutting drill bits. But I like to just share what experiences that I've had over the years and what works for me, and hopefully you can pick up some tips that may help you in the future as well. We all learn from each other on YouTube, and I hope I've actually taught some people some good tips to follow so that they don't end up breaking more drill bits than you absolutely have to. So thanks for joining me here today. If you've ever seen this channel before, you're welcome to subscribe. Come back for some more interesting subjects. Cheers.